Welcome to Critical Thinking Ministry. Thank you for tuning in into this short video. I'm not going to be before you that long. It's been a while. I know I'm kind of toying with the direction of the ministry. I think this will be my last video touching on race, color. You can watch all the previous videos I've done on it. There's sufficient evidence, more than enough, to give you some insight to what people would have looked like in the past. We understand the deceptions. So this will be my last video touching on that. Going forward, I'm just going to open up a new chapter and touch on some up-to-date issues, but I had to kind of lay the foundation to how we have been deceived historically. So today, I don't have anything written or prepped. It's not going to be polished. You may hear pages turning. So I do ask for some grace in this situation. I just want to talk to you today on understanding words. Understanding words. Unfortunately, and it's no big deal, it is what it is. Typically, churches, particularly if they're Pentecostal, charismatic, the emphasis is on emotion. So when someone says, we had church today, we had a good time, we all know what it means. It was an emotionally high service, which is great, by the way, provided that it wasn't like manufactured by the musicians and you weren't manipulated. But if it's truly a move of God, hey, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. But one of my favorite preachers, he's from Zimbabwe. His name is Bishop Joshua Mpanga. He's a brilliant guy. He said something about thinking in the Christian church that I 100% agree with. He said in Islam, when a Muslim enters the mosque, they are required to leave their shoes at the door. He said, but in Christianity, when the Christian enters the church, they're required to leave their brain at the doors. Oh, man, I get it. So thinking is really a grown man's, a grown woman's sport. Not saying that I'm perfect at it, but I definitely try to operate in a critical thinking mindset in whatever I do. So, and usually that's being guided by the Holy Spirit. And then I take in stuff from a natural perspective that will help me on my journey. So I want to talk to you today about words. If you understand like part of a word, the root word, even if you don't understand the entire word, through context clues, you will be able to be in the ballpark. Even if you can't nail it 100%, you will be in the ballpark in trying to figure out what a word means. That's a skill that sometimes a lot of people don't have, and you see that in standardized tests. They'll have a word, and you may not know the definition of that word, and they'll say, choose what is the meaning through A, B, C, or D. And sometimes people don't have the skill, which is no big deal, to kind of decipher or use context clues to try to figure out what that word means, even if they don't know the meaning. So I'm going to give you an example. And again, take my time. This may seem kind of academic or redundant or too specific, especially for religious ministry. But again, I'm going to make my point, and we're going to tie this all in so we can be better equipped, not only in reading the Bible, but just in life, so people won't get over on us. And I'm seeing that a lot. People are getting over on us because we're not thinking critically as we approach situations. So on the screen, let's see here. You will see a word spelled M-E-L-A, Mela. And as the word says, it's from the Greek word melas. It refers to black or dark. And we're going to use that. I'm going to show you several words where the prefix mela is used. And even if you didn't know exactly what that word meant, because you understand what mela means black or dark, you can kind of figure it out and get in the ballpark of, generally speaking, what it may mean. So, melanin, okay? It's a natural pigment that gives color to human skin, hair, and eyes. Melanin. So if you look at me, my skin is darker because it has melanin in it. It makes the skin darker. And you see that with people of color. Mela. So it's consistent. Now, melatonin. That's a pill that we take. I need to take a melatonin. I can't sleep. Well, it's a natural hormone produced in response to darkness. Darkness, you see the word. And what happens, obviously, when it's dark? It's black. So it's you start to see, oh, okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here. Just by knowing what mela means, I can kind of, if I saw this word in a sentence and using the context clues, I would be able to kind of figure it out what it means. Let's look at the next word, melanoma. That's a skin cancer. Cells that make melanin, which gives skin its pigment or color. Now, if you know anything about skin cancer, when somebody gets skin cancer, whether they're black or white, it's a circle-like figure on their skin, and that circle-like figure is black. It's dark. It's really dark brown or dark black. So again, mela is consistent. You'll be able to kind of figure it out just by knowing what mela means. Now let's look at the word melancholy. Now that's a state of thoughtfulness, gentle sadness, or dejection. And it typically involves a reflective, lingering mood rather than deep, dark despair, and often characterized by a quiet, poetic, nostalgic feeling. Now, the word traces back to the ancient Greek words. Melon means black. Chloe means bile. Historically, it was a medical term for a condition thought to be caused by an excess of black bile in the Bible. In the body. So again, you start to see, oh, okay, yeah. Now let's look at the last word, melaleuca. Now this is actually a flower. It's a combination of two words, melas, black, leucos, white, in reference to the contrasting black trunk of the flower and the young white stems or branches that are characteristic of many of the species in this genus. So the trunk is black, the flower itself is white. And so that's where the word comes. And so, in this little exercise, you start to see, oh, okay, just by understanding what mela means, I can kind of figure out the gist of it. Now, let's roll this over to the Bible and studying just names. Obviously, if you've been with Critical Thinking Ministry, we understand in the beginning, all of Noah's sons were what we would call in the United States black. I know some people don't like that term. Dark skin, brown skin. I'm brown skin, but phenotype, I'm called black. And so let's look at Ham. We're just going to do Ham today. I've done this on the screen, you'll see, and this is from the Lexicon Hebrew Bible. And it says of Ham, it's a name of Egypt, and I've used this definition before. Properly, it's domestic name amongst the Egyptians themselves. So the Egyptians were Hamites. Now, that's interesting because usually, hate to even say this, but it's a fact, European scholars who definitely have a racial bias, they say we are from Ham, and they say Ham is the progenitor of the black race. But we all know Noah is the progenitor of everybody, and we started off as what we would call black people. But let's just take that approach. So Egyptians were known as Hamites, and it says on the screen, but however so inflected that the Hebrews suppose Ham, the son of Noah, to have been the ancestor of the Egyptians among other nations. It goes down to say the name of Egypt is in the more recent Coptic language written, and it shows the writing Ham. In the Sahidic dialect, it shows the writing words which signify blackness and heat. So again, it shows that. Yes, the word Ham means black, hot, heat. So we'll go from there. So we know that's a working definition. So when you read the Bible, again, we're just doing Ham right now, as on the screen. Again, I just want to say this doesn't get you into heaven. Only faith and trust in Jesus, Yeshua. But boy, this does help you read the Bible more accurately. And who doesn't want to be more accurate? So on the screen, it shows Ham's descendants: Cush, Mizraim, Put, Canaan. Cush is Ethiopia. Mizraim is Egypt. Put is Libya. And Canaan are the Canaanites and Phoenicians. So when you read the Bible, and again, I just want you to just always add a mental note. So when we usually get to these names, just make the connection like you did in Mela. So when you read of the Amorites, you say, oh, they're descendants of Canaan. Canaan's is the descendant of Ham. Ham means blackness, hot, heat. That's his son. He only had one wife, so you can make the connection. Obviously, Canaan, we just said that. Cush means black, that's obvious. Cushan means blackness. Cushi means Ethiopia. Cushite means Ethiopia. Again, all of the ites that we read in the Bible, Heth, the Hittites and Hivites and Jebusites, all these are Canaanites. And so usually when we read them, we don't have a clue of who they are. They sound interesting, the ites. But, we don't know. We had no idea of who they were and how they related to Ham. And so we just read and didn't know what was going on. The Phoenician woman, a Canaanite, a descendant of Ham. So these are words that, when we read them, you can kind of add a mental note to it. The prophet Zephaniah, in my last video, I mentioned he was the son of Cushai. So again, something to think about. I want you to just, when you read, just add a mental note to this. Again, this doesn't affect your salvation. It just helps you better understand this book. And this book is your book, our book. So that's all I'm going to do for the rest of the ministry for a while on race and understanding. I'm going to focus on more up-to-date topics. But again, just something to think about. Again, I'm freestyling. I have nothing written. Just want you to subscribe, like, tell a friend. Until we meet again, remember, faith plus critical thinking will always lead you to truth. God bless you.